with the Panderverse episode from South Park out and about in the world right now, making the rounds. I mean, like I said before, if you haven't watched it yet, I really would advise you to go and check it out. It's actually really good. And does that deep dive into all the crap that Disney is doing. It has had its detractors, it has had people come out in support of it, it has woken up a lot of people to what's going on. And one person who has come out and spoken about not just what happened with the fan level, but specifically about Kathleen Kennedy and what it is was done, what it is Kathleen Kennedy and her minions had done to this person is Gina Carano. Well, let me just give a bit of a brief recap when it comes to Gina Carano. Gina Carano was fired by Disney for literally nothing. Nothing. All she did was have a mind of her own and comment something that is her right to do, because she has the right to the free will, and that's it. And because she refused to join into the hive mind mentality that Kathleen Kennedy and the rest of her lunatics push, she got blacklisted by Disney, literally, and they just went for the jugular. That's what they did, and it had other people coming out, and all Rachel Zegler jumped on it and tried to really destroy her. And it was terrible because Gina Carano refused to play along with this nonsense. Well, after the Panderverse came out, she came and she gave some startling information in regards to Kathleen Kennedy and Disney and exactly what they do. Let's go through some of this here. This article from Bounding into Comics. Gina Carano weighs in on South Park joining the Panderverse. Reveals Disney asked her to unfollow certain accounts because they said bad things about Kathleen Kennedy. Yeah, no way you're going to pretend that didn't happen. They go through a bunch of stuff here in regards to what happened with it and thing, and they also talk about, the South Park into the Panderverse episode. I'm going to just go past that, in case anybody hasn't seen it yet. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. I want to get to what Gina Carano had to say. So she put out this tweet, and this is, I'm going to read it out here so you can understand how Gina Carano literally delivers a 1-2 punch to them and then sweeps the leg. She just takes them down. Right, she goes out here. So let me go back a bit so you know what I'm talking about. Right, retweeting a clip of the scene which notably cuts just after Cartman's declaration that Kennedy's story was the best explanation I've heard as to why Disney movies all suck now, as shared by and Carano declared. This is what she had to say. This is the part where KK demands any YouTubers get censored off of YouTube for sharing and laughing at this hilarious episode. She'll have YouTube disable the thumbs down option because of the ratio she'll receive. Then she'll have her publicist ghouls make sure Variety and Hollywood Reporter run hit pieces about the South Park creators and their families, smearing their names through every useful idiot she has under her thumb who would sell their soul to work for Lucasfilm. She'll activate her online mob to repeat that the South Park creators are racist, bigot, transphobes, and demand the South Park creators publicly apologize by only using words she approves of. And finally, she'll demand they subject themselves to a re-education course of 45 people in the LGBTQ community Zoom call to sit there and listen of how badly they got their feelings hurt all over a little boop of a South Park episode. But maybe, just maybe, the jig is up. Now, the reason why Gina Carano could come out and say this is because a lot of this is what happened to her. Now, YouTube didn't disable the thumbs down option, saying it was, something about how they wanted to give creators a chance to not be burdened by that thing, which is crap, because they just didn't want certain groups to see that, they were being informed about how badly they were being ratioed into the ground. That's what they were doing. And then we talk about how you have the publicist ghouls make sure Variety and Hollywood Reporter run hit pieces about the South Park creators and their families, Yeah, because like I say, Variety, Hollywood Reporter, CBR, all these so-called outlets, she'll hand for Disney. And these people are controlled by and they would literally do these things. But when you look at some of the crap that is out there, you could tell these people are desperately trying to make themselves seem, or make it seem like, whatever they're doing isn't their way of selling their souls. She then goes on. She use every useful idiot she has under her thumb who would sell their soul to work for Lucasfilm, yeah? They will do that. She'll activate her online mob to repeat that the South Park creators are racist, bigot, transphobes, and demand the South Park creators publicly apologize by only using words she approves of. Yeah, this is what's going on. Anytime, as I said before, when you see these things, when you see these movies, these shows, whatever come out, and you're seeing this online wave of people calling this one racist for not liking it, or a bigot, or trans, or whatever. These people have weaponized this to use against you. They have bot accounts to make it seem like, it's thousands of them, when it's most likely just 2. That's what they're doing. They use these online platforms to try and push their hate agenda. And they act like everybody who isn't a part of it needs to be dealt with. And she goes on, and finally she'll demand they subject themselves to a re-education course of 45 people in the alphabet community Zoom call to sit there and listen of how badly they got their feelings hurt over a little group of a South Park episode. Yeah, because anytime you see, you don't even have to look very far. Most people now using TikTok for kind of thing, and when you see the kind of ridiculous, dotish things that come out on TikTok. I saw one video the other day where this woman, because that's what she is, a woman, stating how, she just left her job today, not sure if she's going to go back tomorrow, because why? She was misgendered and that hurt her. But then don't go back. That is all. If you want to be broke, homeless, and poor, because you have some kind of mental condition, that's your business. Don't go back. Nobody's misgendering you. You're a female. So people are supposed to look at that crowd and pick and choose. No. But then they always talking about how hurt they are, how this they are. The world does not bend for you. Just because you clearly have several elevators not going to the top in your head doesn't mean everybody is supposed to join in on that madness with you. So what Gina Carano has come out here and say is literally giving a well account of what happened, because a lot of this happened to her. She's speaking from first-hand experience. Kathleen Kennedy, Disney, Lucasfilm, they went out there to destroy her because why? She did not say what they wanted her to say. She didn't follow what they liked, and that is what happened to her. Let's continue on. Unsurprisingly, while Carano's tweet was met with a wave of support and adulation from her fans, it also drew its fair share of criticism from her detractors. One such critique, though brief, came from the official Twitter account for the Around the Galaxy podcast, wherein its administrator informed their followers, this is it here, in case you were wondering, Gina Carano has lost her goddamn mind in regards to what she has put out here. Well, she didn't take that lying down. Not one to take such swings lying down. Yep, Carano in turn proceeded to lay into the Star Wars-centric podcast firing back. Which you have to say here. Do you always call a woman crazy just because she has more first-hand experience than you and says something you don't like or understand? Bit misogynistic, don't you think? This. Curious if your overlords pay you, or do you all just go ahead and shove your whole head straight up their ass for free? I telling you, Gina Carano sweeping the leg at it, taking them dog. I'm guessing for free. Might want to come out for some fresh air. Oh God. For some added context, not just for you, but for the people reading, one of the things your overlords asked me to do was to unfollow certain accounts because they said bad things about Kathleen Kennedy. That was a huge red flag for me. If I were the head of one of the most powerful entertainment companies in the world, I would know that haters come with the territory and that maybe the haters are expressing their thoughts because they actually care, and caring is a good thing because as long as they care well, we still have something to work with. Maybe we can win their hearts back eventually, and maybe they do have some good things to add to the conversation, which they do and did. And at the very least, they are still buying the product. Look at Mando Season 1. Boom. The healing had begun. If you are a proper good leader, you learn how to embrace and communicate, not dictate and silence and demand your actors and directors unfollow and shame more than half of your fan base and the people who have stuck with the franchise for decades. Why true? Side note, don't say the force is female and then allow only the men to express their political views online. In fact, just drop the ridiculous phrase completely. One of the problems your overlords are having now is that they've made a lot of people completely stop caring about one of the most beloved franchises in history, all by bullying, pushing aggressive agendas, and trying to silence the people criticizing them. How are they able to tell stories they don't understand when the ones they identify with are the Empire? Quite true. They are literally trying to squash the little guy, the rebellion. No wonder the storytelling is struggling. They fire and dehumanize people like me who did absolutely nothing wrong, all to virtue signal to people like you, the yes men. But yes men, unfortunately for you and them, do not drive culture. Maybe they were banking on the kids picking up the slack, but one of the best things about this franchise is passing it from generation to share. The competition is too high to throw out something as valuable as that. Why would one generation pass it on when you disrespected and thrown them away? Your overlords tried to hide behind the two opposing fan bases, fighting each other instead of taking responsibility. So they encourage the hate, all while virtue signaling they are standing up for minorities, but instead using them as a shield and weapon. Funny enough, just how our government works. They think people will forget, and yes, maybe they will, but for this moment, they have heard the people's voice and it shook them. They're choosing to stick with their weak leadership, who couldn't handle YouTubers saying mean things online, when all it would have taken is a true leader to step in, take the reins, take some responsibility, stop discriminating, apologize about the things that have been done wrong, step completely out of politics, be truly inclusive, and they'd be back in business. Until then, they're stuck with you, the yes men, and they're plummeting stuff. My God, boy, Gina Carano ain't trying to hold back anymore. But she's at this building for years, so she has to vent. I'm not saying I'm right on all fronts, but I am open-hearted and refuse to discriminate based off of powerful people telling me how to think and act. And if there was something I needed to apologize for, I would have in a heartbeat. But I didn't say or do anything wrong. People come to me daily to shake my hand and thank me for taking a stand, even people who think diff. One thing is true. Good leadership makes for a better world, leading to healthier and happier people and better opportunity. Look around, we are watching the devastating effects of what bad leadership can do worldwide. Wow. Very well said. Very, very well said. I tell you, that was it. She really leaned into them. Yeah, I mean, there's not much more I could say in regards to this. I think Gina Carano wrapped this up very nicely here. That's one thing I will say in closing is that I personally do not believe Kathleen Kennedy, anybody at Disney is going to pay any kind of heed to this thing at all. I'm a staunch believer in the fact that these people have their heads so far up wokeism's ass that they cannot even smell daylight anymore. And the only way to ever fix anything that is going to make Star Wars come back to being great, Marvel, DC, Disney, all these things come back to being great and fantastic and all of this, you have, I said it before, I said again, you have to fire everybody involved in this and bring back people who actually care. Because anytime you leave this, it will continue to get worse. Because these people have no intention to do anything other than to set up everything to watch this company burn, and they will be perfectly happy to sit there with marshmallows and enjoy it. But then again, this is who they're pandering to. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell if I ever put on a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.